In one account of the last meal Jesus took with his friends, they sang and danced and larked about with joy. It was no dreary gathering of Sunday-best stuff shirts, but something jubilant for the jealous to destroy. Jesus Christ founded neither a church nor a state. In fact, he subverted both, seeing no reason for the rich to monopolize heaven through making a virtue of devious sloth. For then, as now, the rich and the super-rich fail to score when it comes to empathy, and honesty is superfluous to their career path, devoted to economic psychopathy. He conjured up an image to suggest the enormity of the rich being such a social excrescence. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter heaven. By advising his followers not to lay up treasure on earth, he indicated how little money could really do. "Be warned, you rich men, weep and howl," Jesus cried, "for the miseries that shall come upon you." Jesus saw that man's money mania reveals a malaise, where an economy replaces a heart. Giving and receiving becomes getting and spending, and extortion is admired as an art. He tried to teach the rich they couldn't serve God and Mammon, yet they'd still sell their souls for its money's worth. So he'd try to undermine the stubborn masters of the universe by saying the poor were blessed and would inherit the earth. He judged Mammon to be the arch-demon of greed, who feeds off inequality, injustice, and misery, fueling acquisition, then competition, and then war, with its devilish power to drive society crazy. When the police came to arrest Jesus for sedition, he gestures Peter to put down his sword. He sternly forbids him from all violent resistance, and to Jesus' followers this was his last word. Though to his friends Jesus' life was more precious than anything, no one was to be killed in its defense. So when so-called Christians deny Jesus this, his last wish, and spill blood instead, they're making no sense. Tertullian, an early Christian, said, "The Lord, in disarming Peter, disarmed every soldier," thus prefiguring Einstein, who urged, "The pioneers of a world without war are those who refuse military service," the same line. "Beware those who come in my name," Jesus would warn, meaning those surfacing since, selling strife. Some with Christian guns, and some with Christian bombs, and presidents who claim God tells them to take life. But Christian presidents' bombs have performed no miracles, nor have their flesh-piercing bullets found the truth. They've developed no weapon which heals by killing, nor by stealing a whole country's youth. Their real game's to demonize those whose assets they envy, then to ransack their owners in the name of God. And if their state avarice can be promoted as bringing democracy, then maybe no one will notice anything odd. When a country is found floating on a sea of oil, it soon becomes vulnerable to invasion. Death's stench is masked by the smell of petrodollars, and justice suspended for the occasion. The military is the monetary, hiring some muscle so it may read a trade rival's obituary. Columns of soldiers are a human balance sheet with losses absorbed by the cemetery. The state will take note if you die for its schemes, though it never intends dying for you. Its flag covers your coffin as it plays stately music, firing off blanks as you're shunted from view. "Kill a commie for Christ" was once the Empire's war cry, followed by "Shoot the godless gooks in the crotch." Superstitious soldiers still name-check Jesus H. Christ, till they find what Jesus said a little too much. Ask anyone who believes they once had reason to go to war. They soon forget why they go on and on fighting. For death has chased common sense through what's left of the door, by persuading man that shedding blood is exciting. Yet someone brave enough to do what's toughest, such as turning the other cheek, while they're being threatened, persecuted, or tortured, is showing a revolutionary streak. All of Jesus' radical sayings have been recipes for a transformative spiritual food to cure a world too scared to love its neighbor and without the guts to fight evil with good. Thanks to Christ's thoughts in the Sermon on the Mount, the weak must be protected from the strong, from corporate bullies still sacrificing to Mammon, who believe the poor are born in the wrong. There's nothing in Christ's Sermon on the Mount that suggests founding a religion of oppressive domination. Instead, it's anti-capitalist, and it's for loving kindness, and it's born from an anarchic imagination. Don't let yourselves be called rabbi or teacher, Jesus said, and equally let no one put you in your place. Likewise, don't let any of you be addressed as master, for anyone exalting themselves shall be abased. Jesus also asked people to give to whoever asked them. If someone takes what's not theirs, not to mind. For when you learn all wealth is really held in common, how you share it should be easy to find. If you've an extra coat, Jesus said, just give it away. He preached distribution according to need. And if you're reluctant to share what you've been given, then you're only promoting greed. He and his disciples would take grain from the fields, saying, hunger overrules any law. So, help yourselves to that special bread in the temple, for no one should keep food from the poor. Blessed are you poor, he said, and woe to you rich. He hit socialism's G-spot before Marx. Though rich, Christians prefer trickle-down economics, a trick enabling them to carry on as sharks. When he and his fishing friends were accused of not paying taxes, he laughed. We've nothing. You can pay if you wish. You pay whenever you see Caesar's face on your money, and we'll pay with any coins turning up in our fish. He was seen as an inspired instrument of change, who'd pull proud rulers from their thrones, raise up the humble, feed the hungry good things, and joke at stiff-necked religious clones. When considering mildewed and oppressive old laws which kept people at the end of their tether, he said, you can't put new wine into old bottles, and he urged their being got rid of altogether. He ridiculed the old institutions in favour of a new politics. His followers left their homes and jobs and risked their lives, even giving up their families for his revolutionary commune, spiritual hunter-gatherers seeking new ways to survive. A new economics lay at the heart of their mission, whereby the labourer is worthy of his hire. They believed they were sent to bring good news to the poor, to demand release of slaves, and to light a radical fire. To point out that landowners were not only stewards of the land, and to campaign to revive the ancient jubilee, whereby land was handed over to those who'd been working it, and the land's produce was redistributed for free.